we're gonna take a little detour from doing the legendary hunt right here, and we are gonna move over to doing another tier list. We already did our shiny starter Pokemon tier list, so today we got the shiny mythicals on deck. We are going to be rating all of the shiny Pokemon that are classified as mythicals, you know, subset of legendaries, whatever you want to call them. For anyone that hasn't seen this, I'll just quickly run over the tiering options that we have. So the bottom of the barrel, the absolute lowest tier, is the Goldango tier. This is for Pokemon whose shinies barely change from the regular. It's like, what are we doing here? There's like no change. What's going on? Next to the bottom, why is it green? This is for those green shinies that just look really freaking bad. You take a great Pokemon like Dragonite and you make it green, and it's like, this, why is it green? I don't like this. Next up, right below the middle tier, we got water for dogs, aka dog water. This is really just the tier for any shinies that do make a change, but I just don't really like them. Then we got, I mean, it's all right. It is middle of the road. It is just fine. Don't hate it, don't love it. It's mid. Then we got, hey, that's pretty good. These are for the solid shinies. Like, these things are passive, you know, passably good. You know, you look at them, you're like, nice. We got good soup. These are for your shinies that just leave you coming back wanting more. These are nice shinies. A good meal will leave you satisfied. And then the final tier, the tippy top, the cream of the crop, we got Calf Lifting Mjolnir. These are the shinies that have you jumping up and down, screaming and hollering because they're damn good. First up on the docket, it is the OG mythical, the first one to ever grace our lives, the mysterious Mew, the Pokemon that has had us all entranced way back in the late 90s, early 2000s. How do you get it? Is it under the truck? Where is this Pokemon? And it is an absolutely gorgeous baby blue, one of my favorite shiny colors out there. I adore shiny Mew. We're starting off with a bang. This is a freaking good shiny. This is a top tier shiny. There's really nothing more to say. Find me someone that doesn't like shiny Mew. But next up, we got shiny Celebi, the nice little purple pink onion fairy with a little green antennae. This is a really nice shiny. I really like shiny Celebi. I like the green to pink. It just works. It kind of looks like a red onion. I don't think it is quite, you know, the epitome of shinies. I think it's really nice. I think it is a solid good soup option. Our next mythical on the board is Jirachi, our little resident wishmaker. It's not like the world's biggest change in shiny. Its body gets a little hue, little tint of red, and then the tassels, they're normally blue, right? Am I misremembering? The tassels are not normally red. They're blue, correct? This is another solid shiny. A real shocker, this list, we're gonna have mostly good shinies. There are a couple here, but mostly these are gonna be really good shinies. And so this is another good soup shiny. It might not be the cream of the crop at the very top, but I still really like shiny Jirachi. It looks great. And then next up, our second mythical from Generation 3. Generation 3, the first generation to have multiple mythicals as a part of it. We got Deoxys. Normally, I would not be the biggest fan of yellow. Not gonna lie to you, yellow is not one of my favorite colors out there, but I think it really works with Deoxys. I just think it fits the blue changing to kind of a greenish blue. I like it. I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's quite good soup for me. It could just be purely because I'm not a big fan of the color yellow, but I think it's surprisingly good. I'm actually rethinking it for a second. Is that, am I being biased against the color yellow? Is it actually better than I'm giving it credit for? It's because, like, I kind of weigh it versus the regular in terms of like, which one do I prefer? And I'm not gonna lie, I think I do prefer regular Deoxys over shiny. Red and blue is just a classic color scheme. Red is my favorite color, so I do think I'll leave it in. That's pretty good. I won't put it up in good soup. Now moving into Generation 4, we got Fion and Manaphy. They're the same exact shinies. They go from the same color before to the same shiny color. I'm really tempted to put this in Goldango tier. Not gonna lie, like, it is not the world's biggest change. You know, looking at your screen right now, you might not even think I have shiny Manaphy or Fion in the actual tier list. Is that dull of a shiny change? But it's honestly not that bad though. It's the weirdest thing. Like, it's tough. Like, it feels like they should go in Goldango tier, but I think I might just make them all right. It could be because they are water type Pokemon, and so by staying blue, it just doesn't feel like a traitorous sin to keep them as blue. Although the more I look at it, Fion is actually a less of a change than Manaphy. Like, Manaphy I can actually kind of tell is shiny. Fion, not as much. Fion I actually might drop into Goldango. That could be biased towards the fact that Fion is one of the most forgettable and kind of worst Pokemon out there. I'm sorry, Fion. I think I got to drop you down. We're gonna put you in Goldango tier, but Manaphy gets a pass. Moving on, we got Darkrai now, the next mythical from Generation 4, and Darkrai, that's another damn good freaking shiny right there. Like, the purple, like, the rest of the body obviously doesn't change all that much. The little, I don't know, is that its mouth? Is the thing around Darkrai's collar, the red thing, its mouth? I don't really know. It does go from a red to kind of a pinkish, as far as I can tell from the small sprite way over here. But then the purple body, like it just, that's just a really good freaking shiny. Like Darkrai is a really damn cool looking Pokemon. You would think going from red and black, my favorite color scheme, to anything else would be disappointing, but that shiny looks fantastic. And yeah, that is an obvious top tier shiny. Moving on to Shaman, however, our fourth generation 4 mythical. Good lord, they really started piling on the mythicals in these later games. I'm in between putting Shaman and I mean it's all right and hey, that's pretty good. It's not the world's biggest change. I do kind of like the minty green look of it, but I think that's really the only change to it, right? The body still pretty much stays white. I really think that the green is the only thing that really changes, but it changes enough, and it's a nice color of green. I don't hate it. I think I'm just gonna say it's all right. I think some people might disagree with me on that one. And now for the big boy Arceus, the big yellow lad. This one's a tough one, but the opposite direction. I'm trying to decide, is this one just all right, or is it kind of dog water? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of the shiny. Kind of like I said with Deoxys, I'm not a big yellow person. The body just going from white to yellow and the little, what do you call that thing around its midsection? I don't know. People always joke it looks like a llama stuck in a fence. But the fence going around Arceus' midsection, that thing had changed to like a silver. If Arceus had been yellow with a silver fence around it, I think I wouldn't have minded so much the change to yellow. But I think because the thing stays gold, I'm actually going to say I don't think it's a very good shiny, to be honest. I think it's kind of lackluster for Pokemon's God. Generation 5, which again has a dang large number of mythicals, starting with Victini, the only Pokemon now from Generation 5, I believe. I think Keldeo Shiny's been released at some point or another. Victini, though, I know for a fact, it's still not officially out there. Like, Victini's Shiny is just locked away. We have never received it. It seems like it'll be coming very soon because we've gotten a number of Shinies recently that have not come out, you know, over the years, like Meloetta. But Shiny Victini is very much good soup. The white and red just goes together really well. Is not the world's, actually, okay, it is a pretty big change actually. The entirety of its body basically goes from a tannish to a white. The red on top really pops. Like it goes from like I wouldn't say a duller red, but a more dark red, and then becomes really bright. Moving on to Keldeo. Is this the time I do it? Is this the first time and maybe the only time for this list right here? I gotta say, even though I'm not normally a fan of green shinies, I don't think it deserves to be thrown into the why is it green tier. I actually don't hate it as a green shiny, but even still, I don't love it. I think it's just all right. Now for the first form of Meloetta, what is this? Does this form have a name, or is it just regular Meloetta and then pirouette form? I have no clue what base Meloetta is called. Maybe nothing. Maybe it's just Meloetta. That is 1000% a Goldango tier right there. Nothing about that shiny changes, other than the hair getting like ever so slightly lighter green. Like it's basically the same, honestly, kind of thinking about it, it's basically the same thing as Shaman Sky. Like, but I'm gonna leave it as is. Meloetta is 100% a Goldango tier though. Like it just, there's no change. I mean, pirouette form actually has a nice shiny. It goes from an orange to pink. I actually think it's a pretty good shiny. I don't think it's quite good soup. You know, it's not like blowing my mind. I think it's nice. I think it's very pleasant to look at. But now for the big guns. You already know Genesect is going up there. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and say it. We're going to order just the top tier of shinies. All of these are not in any particular order within their tiers. I will tier the top of the top though. Come on, move out of the way, Mew. Get out of the way. Genesect's number 1. I'm biased towards red. I love the color red. I love all red shinies. It just works with Genesect so well. That is a top tier, incredible shiny. There's really not much more to say about it. But after that incredible shiny, we then move on to Deancey. Forgot its name for a second. That's kind of how forgettable Deancey is. Like, it's honestly a pretty forgettable. A lot of these mythicals moving forward, specifically the Generation 6 mythicals, kind of forgettable. I'm not gonna lie. Deancey, I don't think it's very good, to be honest. I don't really like it. It's enough of a change from regular Deancey to not fall into Goldango tier. I still don't think it's very good. Does the body of it even, I guess the body does change, the like rock changes colors, but does the pink little shirt thing, does that actually change color? But I think I gotta stick with my guns. I'm gonna say Because this is kind of a first instinct reaction, not gonna lie. Like when I look at the shiny, how do I feel about it off, you know, first impressions? I just don't think it's very good, to be honest. Mega Diancie though, something about it, like, I mean, it's so weird because it's basically the same shiny. So it's like, how can you feel any differently about Mega Diancie versus regular Diancie? But there's like, I don't know if it's just the little ribbons that are flowing down that add something to it. I don't know if it's the chandelier bottom that I kind of like. I think it's a fine shiny. I don't love it, even though it's basically the same shiny as regular Diancie, but you know, whatever. Are you back, little Leo? You come back to say hello? Since you're a little golden boy, come here. Hello. Okay, so since you are a little baby golden boy, I think it is only fitting that you hang out with us on stream, hang out and tier the golden shinies. How about that, buddy? You just gonna keep licking me? Okay. It's kind of hard to talk and do this while you're trying to lick me. We're gonna tier the Hoopa forms. Now, they're basically the same shinies. I'm honestly not sure why I put them both on here, but they're golden. I like golden shinies. Okay, he's freaking out. You go. The golden shinies of Hoopa and Hoopa Unbound. I think they're both good soup. Again, I don't really know why I put both of them on here. They're basically the same shiny. It kind of same thing for Diancie. I don't know why I put both of them on there, but clearly there was a reason for me to put both the Diancies on here because I have different opinions about them. Both Hoopas are incredible. You know, golden shinies are just generally pretty damn nice. Like, shoot, golden shinies make Kricketot really cool. So Volcanion has the worst shiny I think I might have ever seen. I honestly dislike shiny Volcanion so much. I wish there was another tier below Water for Dogs. I don't like it at all. It looks gross. I don't like the colors. Like I said, yellow, not my thing really, but the pink little accents and like the light blue, it just doesn't work. They just don't work for me. Gives me the ick. Which one of these forms is like the regular? I think it's this form is the regular form. I think this is regular Magearna shiny. It does change enough, but like they kind of just remove the little like yellowish accents along the bottom of the body to make it silver again. Not really a fan of it. Like, does it make sense? Maybe, but I'm still not a fan. Just taking away the little yellow accents and then just leaving the rest of it, you know, silver as it is. Not for me. The Pokeball, the like red Pokeball version of Magearna though, which was that ever released? Is that even an official thing? Like, I don't even know where that came from. It's just a thing that exists, but it does have its own shiny too. And it's a black Pokeball. That's a good soup shiny right there. That's pretty damn cool. Like, I don't know how you get the Pokeball Magearna, how you get it shiny. Maybe it's shiny locked. It probably is. This one breaks my heart because Marshadow is such a cool Pokemon. I love its design. I love its gimmick, but like, it is quite literally Goldengo tier through and through. It might be even worse than Goldengo because you can only see the shiny change when it attacks. When it's just standing there, you have no clue if it's shiny or not. It has to like do stuff for you to see that like its little green accents become like purple. Now, when you can see the purple accents, they're pretty nice, and I would say it's a pretty good shiny. But since like in this just base form, you can't even tell if it's shiny. It's obviously Goldengo tier. Now Zeraora, this is a Pokemon that I've just never really had much of an opinion on. It just kind of exists. Zarude and Zeraora just kind of seemed like they were just like thrown out there, and that was it. It's just like, okay, these Pokemon exist. But Zeraora shiny is very nice. I do rather enjoy the change from the yellow to the white, because it kind of still has that lightning feel, you know, like lightning bolts. You know, they're really yellow or white, not yellow. I think it's a good shiny. I think it looks pretty cool. Now for Meltan and Melmetal, I don't have any experience with these Pokemon because I never played Pokemon Go enough at all when they came out to get them. I think I used Melmetal once or twice in Showdown, like random battles, but I at least know more about them. Like, I think Melmetal's a cool Pokemon, but the shinies they're almost Goldengo tier. They do have the little like tail, which goes from like a red to a blue. I don't think they're great shinies, but I don't think they quite fall into Goldengo tier. Yeah, I would like to see a bit more change. I understand why they keep the bodies the like metallic silver, but I would like to see a little bit more. Now Zarude. Zarude is also a Pokemon that just doesn't have a very good shiny. I think they really started going downhill with the shinies towards the latter half of, well, I guess I can't really say that. They started off really strong. They had some pretty good ones mixed in, but like, I think in general, the later half of the mythical shinies have not been as good as the beginning half. But yeah, Zarude's only change is like, it gets that little like tan vest thing on its chest. The rest of it, completely the same. It just gets that little like weird tan thing. I don't like it. It just looks weird. Don't look natural. And then finally we got Pecharunt, and honestly, Pecharunt kind of has the same deal. The rest of the body, exactly the same. It gets this weird little like tan thing around part of it. I think that's another not very good shiny. I think the shinies on the mythicals as of late kind of dropped the ball. But in terms of the top tier, like I said, we would order out the ones at the very top. Genesect obviously stays number one. Fantastic shiny. I think they're already in order, to be honest. Genesect, Mew, Darkrai. Shoot, might as well order the next tier. Why not? There's so few of them. I think Jirachi has the best shiny. Actually, I gotta be honest, I think this Pokeball Magearna is really freaking cool. I think that might be the best shiny in this good soup tier. Then Jirachi, then I would give it to Victini, then Celebi, yeah, then the Hoopas, and then Zeraora. As for the rest of them, I guess so we can rank, I'll say Pirouette, Meloetta is better than Deoxys to me. The rest of them doesn't really matter. They can just stay in whatever order. But yeah, those are my, my ratings and my top favorite shiny mythical Pokemon.